I'm playing Apium today. So, right now, we're gonna make a big house. A really good house. And it's gonna be super crazy. It's gonna be cool, fun. It's gonna be cool and fun. He just spawned out of thin air. So, we bought a big thing, and then now we need this because we might need to carry some big trucks. We have to get them separately because they both have legs. Right now, we're gonna grab our lucky. We got our transporter. I'm gonna deliver the trailer first because it's more important. We might go camping later. And we're kind of next to a farm. So it might be fun. So we're gonna a little bit more. We're next to a farm, so that's not our house. But there's another house. There is another house. And I saw it and it was oh, that's this the house was. Just wait 1 second. This is how this is the end of the map. Star right here because on it they will have. Okay, I do not know how to turn my truck around. Let me go. Let me go. Okay. Our truck is stuck. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to reset it. Okay. I'm gonna respawn that. I'm gonna delete the both of that. Yep. We're gonna buy a new one because I'll get it out. Thing. So I'm going back to California. I'm going back to Kansas City today. So my dad has not went to a trip with us, but he's flying out here to take the drive with us because they probably need to take turns because it's gonna be a long drive. So and someone needs to work the night shift and somebody else has to work the day shift. So that's it. We got the house where we want it. We got it placed right next to it's close somewhere we want it to be. So I might quite like it. It's good. Y'all might like it because it's pretty fun. It has a lot of room. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Okay. Yes. This. Get out. This tree. This tree. It's annoying. The tree is annoying. The tree is annoying. So annoying. Okay, I'm gonna respawn the truck real quick. Okay, so we need to get the vehicle. Where the truck is? You have two of this one. I'm using that one. This one, yeah, we probably need, more force when we drive. We can't drive into the water. No. No. We could drive through. Okay, we're gonna restart this. Okay, respawn. Okay, so I know. Okay. Read that. This boy. This one. Yes, really tight. I'm waiting. Yeah, anyway, we could do. We have a lot of. I like the old Dash. You don't know who Dash is? He's a YouTuber, popular. He has 100K viewers. I miss the old him. The new him, he's all filled with pranks, man. The old him, he was kind. I'm gonna try to bring back the old Dash, bro. Please bring back old Dash. The old Dash. The old Dash was way better. The new Dash, but I don't know who that imposter is, but he is out of control. That is not funny. He's actually out of control. We're gonna drive carefully because last time I got stuck in a tree. That's the tree. Because we're so close to the tree, to our place. We are so close to our place, bro. You have to go the other way. Sorry. Have to go a different way. So, I'm gonna drive up this mountain. This hill. This hill is steep. Can you even drive up to this hill? This hill? Yeah, this hill is pretty steep. I don't think I could drive up here with this truck, but I can probably do it with this truck. Right now, I'm just right now I'm trying to get 1,000,000 subscribers. So please like and subscribe. When you get 1,000,000 views, that means 1,000,000 people watched your video. Oh. Help me! 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 Okay, I can't. That's just my thing. I have to drink water. It just reminds me how much water. Drink. Yeah. I'll be back.
You know, as you get bigger, Papa will smaller. So you're going to have to help Papa. Did you eat all your food? Eat the rest of your eggs. Eat the rest of your eggs. Don't eat the rest of all your food. Sit down to the table. Eat the rest of your food. I'll be right back. Don't open the door to nobody.
I'm back, guys. So, I'm back. My video. I'm back in my video, guys. So right now, what I want to do is try to get to that. Okay, I might need to. Actually, no. Yep, I'm done for. Help me, please. Can play a loose ball. Yes. Park. I have been having this problem for years. I don't know. time I jump out the car when I have water, I'm in water, I automatically go in the air, bro. Please let me trick shot with a 360 no scope. He had to respawn so many times. How many times I respawned? Like 400 times. Okay. I might have a big problem. I'm gonna report that time when I'm in the water and I jump out a car, I'm in the water, it freaking sends me flying. Freaking hits me flying. I hate it, bro. I hate it. Bitch. That's I don't know. It's so funny watching this girl get whooped, but get whooped by this boy's butt.
When situations change, everything depends on how quickly you respond. Introducing Atlas, an all-in-one team management platform designed for real-time operations using standard smartphones. Atlas transforms everyday devices into a connected network of live cameras, all accessible from one central command device. When you need a wider perspective, Atlas integrates seamlessly with DJI drones. Set waypoints, plan missions, launch directly from the app, and monitor everything in real time. From the command center, maintain full control, or manage the drone live in the field. With built-in messaging, your team stays aligned at every moment. Clear instructions, instant updates, no confusion. Mark a point of interest and guide every team member to the exact same location. Atlas even confirms movement in real time. As your team advances, directional paths align, and when they're on track, those lines converge into a single point. From connected phones to aerial intelligence to real-time coordination, Atlas brings your entire operation together. When it matters most, be ready.
Okay.
Atlas, unified.
Her rage points increased by 523. Seriously, this girl was a walking rage factory. Now Chen thought, telling the system to settle the points. The system notified him. Total rage points this round were 1187. Converted to personal credits, 1118,700. Current balance, 519,500. And a new shop category had unlocked. Chen's grin grew wider. Time to test my luck. While Chen was trying
That's
out
all
the new
you
shop he had
clapping
unlocked,
for.
Hao shot him a glare. Don't think just because you have supplies you can trample all over me. Her rage points hit 327. Rage points were gained and converted to personal credits. Chen thought and laughed. Truly the peak of fortune. A buzzcut guy suddenly shouted, "The power's back! The power's back!" The other guy clasped his hands together. Thank God we're saved from the cold front. Hao tilted her head. Was it? It was weird how it came back so fast. Just a power outage. Hao blushed at Chen. Chen thought that good things and his luck had exploded. He had spent 100k credits and secured half a year of utilities in one go. Now it was time to cash in. Chen went to his corridor and started hollering like a madman. He shouted that his wife had cheated, his mother-in-law abused all his patients, and only fueled their cruelty. There was no more tolerance. He told them to come to Unit A701 to hear his revenge plan. The people outside kept chattering, asking how many trashy dog blood dramas this guy had binged. Damn cringe. Some purple-haired woman muttered. Was he still pulling this crap in the apocalypse, Unit 701? Did he think he was funny? They were freezing to death. At least let them die in peace. As the rage level increased by 127, then 255, then 366, then 118, Shen thought that this was the thrill of overnight wealth. Come on, bring on more rage, he thought very happily. Factory. Now Chen thought, telling the system to settle the points. The system notified him. Total rage points this round were 1187.
Why he got this picture of her laying his body and slapping her butt? That is gay as fuck. That is gay as fuck, bro. That's the fucking ass. This is the gayest.
Are you the parent of a high school student? If so,
thing I ever seen, bro. That is so fucking gay. This has to be so gay. Why? This dude's a simp. This dude's a simp.
Year 2121, also known as the Westland Era, the time when humanity pressed the nuclear war button and accidentally turned the entire planet into a radioactive survival simulator. Cities got erased, ecosystems mutated, and every bug that used to die under a slipper evolved into something that could legally qualify as a boss fight. In this lovely new world, stepping outside your settlement without a plan is basically submitting a job application to get eaten. But our boy Liu Xing, he treats this nightmare like a daily commute. While everyone else is hiding behind walls praying they don't become lunch, Liu Xing is out here riding a bike through the wasteland, casually slicing nuclear monsters like he's late for work. Because Liu Xing isn't just some random survivor, he's a scavenger, the kind of professional who gets paid to hunt monsters. But here's where things get interesting. Liu Xing has a secret ability that basically breaks reality. When he sleeps, he doesn't just dream, he travels to another world, a terrifying cultivation realm full of demons, immortal sex, cursed spirits, and enough evil energy to give the apocalypse a run for its money. And somehow, Liu Xing ends up becoming the sect master of an ancient immortal faction that's been sealed for 1,000 years. Now he's playing 2 survival games at once. In one world, he hunts nuclear beasts for crystals. In the other, he uses those crystals as spiritual energy to revive ancient demon disciples and rebuild a legendary cultivation site. After the impromptu bug-slaying session, Liu Xing eventually pulled up in front of what appeared to be his destination, a location noted on a chit someone had handed him earlier. He looked at the chit, looked at the building, and arrived at the highly scientific conclusion that's probably the house. Then, a well-fed gentleman emerged from a car parked nearby. They made eye contact. Liu Xing, with zero hesitation and zero explanation, immediately stripped the man of his clothes, tied him up in rope, stuffed a cloth in his mouth, and locked him, very naked, in the back of his own car. Liu Xing then put on the man's clothes and walked toward the entrance. Was this a plan? Apparently yes. His welcome committee, however, was not impressed. The moment he stepped in, a gun was pointed at his head and a blade kissed his neck. 2 girls, clearly not in the business of casual greetings, had opinions about his presence. The first asked, gun aimed, whether he'd perhaps wandered to the wrong address. The second, blade steady, informed him this was private territory and that one more step forward would result in him being sent off, a phrase that needed no clarification. Liu Xing, cool as ever, reached into his pocket and produced a badge. The effect was immediate. The first girl identified him as a distinguished SVIP guest. Liu Xing confirmed he'd come specifically to have fun and would appreciate if they didn't ruin it. The second girl welcomed him to Wasteland Eden and stepped aside. The first pressed a button, called him an esteemed guest, and both bowed as Liu Xing strolled in and the door sealed shut behind him. Wasteland Eden, it turned out, was an underground club that had recently exploded in popularity, and for reasons that were not exactly wholesome. Its clientele consisted of regional overlords and upper-class dignitaries. What drew them were the special services. An announcer took the stage, enthusiastic, loud, very committed to the bit, and declared the night's selection assembly officially open. She announced that money was the only language spoken here, and that those with enough of it would experience what she called ultimate pleasure. The cloth coverings were pulled off a row of glass boxes. Inside each one, a captive girl. The crowd reacted with the enthusiasm of people who had thoroughly lost the plot. The announcer pulled forward one girl, chained at the neck, and described the products on offer as meticulously selected, pure quality guaranteed, the kind of joy only a god deserves. The bidding could begin. Lu Xing watched this from the back, expression unreadable. The so-called special service was plainly an illegal slave auction, mostly of young women, sold to the highest bidder. With the surviving population already scarce, human trafficking was a serious crime, which was exactly why all of this was happening underground, quietly, and with very expensive badges required for entry. But that, apparently, wasn't even the main event. A woman approached Lu Xing as he observed from the back, noting he seemed uninterested in the current offerings. Lu Xing replied that they were second-rate goods, boring. He wanted something more exciting. She smiled and said their guest had taste. There were in fact more exciting options, but to access the top-grade selection, one needed to be a Supreme member. She noticed the bracelet on Lu Xing's wrist. Her entire demeanor shifted. She turned, apologized for failing to recognize his status, and asked him to follow her upstairs. Upstairs, a door opened. A girl was waiting, barely dressed. She introduced herself as Yumi, cheerfully noting she was here and ready. The woman accompanying Lu Xing introduced her as a high-grade acquisition and asked for his opinion. Lu Xing looked, considered, and said, "Not bad." Then he glanced at the woman, who took her cue, excused herself, and left them to it. Lu Xing remarked, with the energy of someone who had just found a good deal at a very illegal market, that he had indeed encountered top-grade goods this time. The girl with fox ears, because 2121 had committed fully to being strange, looked up at Lu Xing and told him that from this moment forward, she was his exclusive pet, his to do with as he pleased. Little Kitty made a very bad decision. Suag Sang stepped closer to Yuami and, completely deadpan, asked her to clarify exactly which kind of thing she was referring to. Yuami, absolutely delighted, called him bad twice for emphasis, and then made her arms rise in a dramatic flourish. She pointed out that they were already there, so the pretending could stop, and proceeded to pull Lu Xing down onto the bed. She began using what could only be described as her illusion abilities, demonstrating this kind of thing with full theatrical commitment. Lu Xing, lying there, assessed the situation and declared it rather ordinary. Yuami pivoted instantly. She asked if Master preferred when she took more initiative, flipped the dynamic, repositioned herself above him, and assured him that little Kitty would be very obedient. She offered generously that if she wasn't obedient enough, Master was welcome to use a whip. Lu Xing asked plainly if she liked eating the whip. She leaned in close and confirmed that yes, only little Kitty, specifically little Kitty, liked eating Master's whip. She moved to kiss him. Lu Xing shoved her away. He produced an actual whip from where, unclear, said good, told her to take a proper taste of it, and spanked her with it. Yuami was not having a good time. Trembling, she demanded to know why he'd hit her, and pointed out, reasonably, that if she was broken, she couldn't serve him anymore. Lu Yuang was unmoved. He noted she couldn't handle a single lash, and reminded her that beastmen were supposed to have fairly tough bodies. He added cheerfully that as long as her head wasn't completely smashed, she'd probably survive. Miss Beastman. Yuomi's eyes went cold. She asked, internally, how he knew. Out loud, she demanded to know if he was a scavenger. Lu Yuang responded that scavengers were apparently not allowed to spend money at premium establishments, which seemed like a strange policy. He then calmly explained that while her disguise was genuinely impressive, beastmen could never fully complete the transformation. Appearance could be replicated. Scent and body temperature could not. Yuomi recovered quickly, smiled, and insisted she was still there to serve him very well. As she moved her arms behind him, her hands quietly shifting into mantis claws, she assured him she just wanted to make Master comfortable, and asked sweetly that he not bully her. The next moment, Lu Yuang threw her across the room with his hip. As she fell, she transformed, lower body, upper body, all of it, into full mantis form, arms and legs and everything, and managed to catch herself before hitting the ground. Her disguise was entirely gone now. She demanded to know who he was, and why his weapon had broken her illusion. She ran the numbers internally. He looked young, probably just a scavenger, so why did he have something like that? Lu Xing said he was just an ordinary scavenger who had accepted a job. The job required cleaning all of them up. He then, generously, challenged her to call her companions, telling her to hurry up, promising he'd give her the chance, and noting that if they all attacked together, it would save everyone time. Yomi screamed in her own language. Her internal reasoning was sound. She was no match for him alone. Together was a different story. Several women burst through the door, armed. The first looked at the situation and was deeply unimpressed. She'd expected a tough nut and instead found a kid. The second told Yuami to relax. Her sisters were here to share the burden. Yuami, now entirely in beast form, told them not to be careless. This one was a scavenger. One of the women fully transformed and declared that if he was a scavenger, guns were pointless. Time to put everything on the table. They all began shifting into their monster forms. The commentary continued. One noted that scavengers who'd caused trouble before hadn't been a match for them either. Another pointed out he was alone, looked like a complete greenhorn, and frankly wasn't enough for all of them to share. A third said to make it quick. There was a big fish betting outside. The last one agreed, adding that even high-level threats might not get an advantage against them as a group, so this kid was basically already handled. They all lunged at Lu Xing simultaneously. Lu Xing looked at the incoming pile of monsters and said that honestly everyone attacking together really did make things easier for him. As every beast in the room launched themselves at Lu Xing at once, he calmly pulled out a talisman, applied it to his whip, and proceeded to spank every single one of them on the rear end with it. Each one took a serious thunder strike to the backside and hit the floor. One of them, recovering from the indignity of being electrocuted through her own buttocks, asked if he was actually a new human rather than a scavenger, since scavengers didn't typically do that. She admitted, mostly to herself, that she'd been careless. Lu Xing turned around and corrected her. What he'd used wasn't a special ability, it was an item. He then did brief mental accounting. 1 lightning talisman spent, 5 beastmen handled. He concluded with complete satisfaction that the deal was worth it. Shortly after Lu Xing had left, someone walked in, took one look at the situation, and identified the bodies as beastmen, specifically a group that had reportedly been secretly abusing and eating humans. The people still inside saw the bodies, connected the dots, and immediately started screaming about beastmen eating people before evacuating at speed. Which fair. As it turned out, intelligence had flagged exactly this group. They hadn't just been capturing lone human girls and providing deeply indecent services to paying customers. They'd also been quietly snacking on some of those same customers on the side. Beastmen operated on an entirely different evolutionary level than standard nuclear beasts. They could mimic human appearance almost perfectly, and their intelligence was fully comparable to humans, which made malicious beastmen significantly more dangerous than anything that was just teeth and instinct. This group had been caught in one go. Liu Xing introduced himself to the room. His name was Liu Xing. He was a scavenger. He'd received a commission to eliminate the beastmen operating in this location, and he'd done exactly that. He picked up an orb and noted, privately, that the 5 nuclear cores he'd just acquired were an even better return than the mission reward itself. Good day overall. For context, scavengers were a recognized profession in this world. They accepted mission commissions, completed them, collected rewards, and were managed by the Scavengers Guild, which was responsible for keeping various threats in check. Most scavengers were new humans, people who had received the same nuclear energy exposure that turned animals into beasts, but instead of becoming monsters, had awakened abilities and significantly improved physical capabilities. Different gift, same source. Liu Xing was one of them. Though, as he just demonstrated, the talisman wasn't his own ability. His actual special ability was, by his own description, rather unusual. Brief life summary, delivered by Liu Xing to no one in particular. His name was Liu Xing, orphan. Early survival strategy, try to join factions. Result, getting beaten daily without pause. This continued until he met the person he credited as his savior, his scavenger team captain, Xia Hu. She identified that he had a special constitution, brought him onto the team she'd built, the Twin Leopards, and from that point on, his singular goal was to survive the apocalypse and become a stronger scavenger. He drove on through the wasteland state of Jindo. Scavenger ability rankings, for reference, ran from D rank at the bottom up through C, B, A, and S at the top. Lu Xing had trained hard and reached the middle stage of C rank, which was progress, but still left a significant gap between him and the A and S rank operators, with powerful abilities and top-tier equipment. He had, however, found a different path to closing that gap. The weapons he carried, items that didn't belong to this world, had already let him take down multiple beastmen at once. The source of those weapons was directly tied to his special ability as a new human. He found a hidden room, went inside, and closed the door. He lay down, closed his eyes, and fell asleep. And then he traveled to another world entirely. This was his special ability. The world he arrived in was nothing like the apocalypse. It was the immortal, refining, strange realm, a place filled with demons, spirits, ghosts, and things that defied easy categorization. The air carried a permanent aura of death and dread. Danger level, comparable to the apocalypse. Key difference, in this realm, one could cultivate immortality. When he arrived, a little girl appeared in front of him immediately, visibly relieved, and addressed him as Sick Master, which was apparently his title there. She told him he was finally awake. Lu Xing, as Sick Master, informed her that the mission on the other side had been completed. They'd collected quite a few materials, which meant they could now activate several more of the shrine's functional modules. Business as usual. 2 worlds, 1 schedule. Liu Xing stepped out of the palace and took a moment to process his existence. 1 second he was asleep on a patch of ground. Next second he was standing somewhere with an entirely different aesthetic. He walked, holding a pouch.
Who Who do they think they are? She has. Why she has a fat butt? It's so sus. It's so weird. It's so weird and so sus at the same time. Connecting.
Unknown calls used to interrupt everything.
Hello?
Again.
Hello?
And again.
Hello?
And
Hello?
again. And the worst part,
Hello?
some unknown calls actually matter. VoxGuard screens unknown callers before they ever disrupt your day.
Hi, this is Dr. Chen's office, confirming your appointment Thursday.
Real caller, real reason, your choice.
Hello?
So you can answer the calls that actually matter.
Yes, Thursday's appointment at 3 works great.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Today I bring you a story where the protagonist is completely messed up. Think of a guy with the worst luck ever. He had $1 million debt, and a few months ago he lost his parents in a car accident. Because of that, his sister suffered serious damage and needs to take extremely expensive medicine. And to be able to pay for the medication, he is going to accept a very strange job. And his boss is a really cool waifu. So keep watching because I'm sure you're going to like this awesome story. And don't forget to leave a like and a comment to support the channel. The story already starts with him at the hospital paying for the medication. The health insurance wouldn't pay for his sister's neural regeneration treatment. The guy was already getting worried, since the insurance was very expensive and still didn't cover it. Pointing at the tablet screen, she shows the price of the medicine. It cost 5 million won, which converted is about $3,000. The amount was very high, and the doctor said she would only walk again if she took this medication. He goes to his sister's room to see if the girl was doing well. Worried, she asked if the hospital bill was expensive. No, it wasn't. Come on, I already got a job here and I'll be able to pay for it, don't worry. She was an athlete in the gymnastics club and tells him she will recover and go back to participating in athletics. The young man gives a smile, saying that of course she will recover and be as good as new. After his parents passed away in a car accident, he even had to take out bank loans to pay for the girl's treatment. Now he was completely screwed, and the salary he earned barely covered 1 week of medication. He even gets angry, thinking about what he could possibly do, and holding a medicine case, he throws it away. Right after, a kitten climbs on top of that case. Money. It all comes down to money. I need to get a job that pays well. My credit score is already ruined and I owe all the banks. And if I don't pay for this medication, my sister will lose movement in her legs. The guy even falls to the ground saying he urgently needs a new job. If he didn't do that, his sister's future would be ruined. He gets up, slapping his hand on his knee. When he goes to pick up the case, there was a kitten on top playing with it. He grabs the case, but the cat hangs onto his arm. At that moment, he notices that a card had been placed inside it. And when he takes out the card, he starts reading some strange information. Are you urgently in need of a well-paid daily job? Contact the number on the card. Looking at that, he finds it very suspicious. Especially in the place where we live, you don't just find good opportunities like that. So he just throws the card away and leaves. But since the guy lives in Korea, he couldn't throw trash on the ground. So he goes back to pick up the card. Later, he gets home and realizes his phone was ringing. It was a notification from the bank charging interest. So he immediately runs to change clothes. He would urgently need to find another job. And since he hadn't thrown the card away, he thinks about calling. After all, guys, he couldn't afford to be too picky. During the call, a woman kept saying some strange phrases, but that was fine. He was there waiting for someone to answer, and after the robot said those strange lines, someone finally picked up. Right away, he got worried, thinking it was someone involved in crime. So he even pulled the phone away from his face, while the woman asked who was on the other side of the line. The woman said she was from the funeral work at the municipal hospital, so he ended up agreeing to go there for the interview. However, he was supposed to show up at the place in about 30 minutes, but it was far. And even so, our young man put on his suit and went there. It was strange for a job interview to happen in a place like that. At that moment, a woman appeared while he was thinking that this job was weird. Are you by any chance Lido Jin? Yes, that's me, Lido Jin. The guy immediately blushed. That's because the girl who appeared there was extremely beautiful and charming. When he saw this woman for the first time, he felt two things. One of them was an inexplicable sense of trust. Just because she was such a beautiful woman, he already knew the job wasn't illegal. And the second thing he felt was an inexplicable fear. She got very close to him, and what he was feeling was thalassophobia.
Guys,
I looked it up
I'll
here,
see
and it's the
y'all
unthinkable
later.
fear of large
Hope
bodies
you
of
have a
water.
good-
Only those who saw the sea for the
morning,
first time
day,
know what that is.
or night.
At that moment, the
Bye.
shameless guy kept staring at her dress,
Peace.
and in a somewhat strange way,